Well, it truly was an historic event when the Pope officially abdicated on Thursday evening. It last happened, what, 600 years ago? And since then, every other Pope has led the Church until their death.
Benedict XVI entered the Sala Clementina in the Vatican for a last time as Pope and shuffled hesitantly to his throne. He's slowing down, and he knows it. Again, for a second day, he admitted that his papacy had had its difficulties.
In questi 8 anni abbiamo vissuto con fede momenti bellissimi di luce radiosa nel comune della Chiesa, assieme a momenti in cui qualche nube si è addensata nel cielo.
He also made an implicit plea to his cardinals: stop infighting, get on better.
Così che il collegio dei cardinali sia come un'orchestra, dove le diversità, espressione della Chiesa universale, concorrono sempre alla superiore e concorde armonia.
He ended his address by pledging his support to his successor.
E tra voi e tra il collegio cardinale c'è anche il futuro Papa, al quale già oggi prometto la mia incondizionata reverenza ed obbedienza.
In other words, rest assured, there won't be 2 popes in the Vatican. One by one, the cardinals came up and briefly made personal tribute. The Pope stood and mostly listened. His successor will certainly be younger and physically stronger. He might just possibly be African, Asian or Latin American. The Italians, with a quarter of the voting cardinals, will have the largest say. All modern popes have been European, in fact most of them Italian. Benedict, of course, is German. The affection in Sala Clementina was sometimes palpable. You didn't have to hear what was being said. Cardinal after cardinal spoke from the heart. After standing for almost an hour, Pope Benedict shuffled out with a walking stick. A few hours later, he left the papal apartments for the last time. He will continue to wear white, but will have a new title, Pope Emeritus. And we won't see him wearing his red papal shoes again, or the gold ring on his right hand. That'll be broken up with a special mallet, as is the tradition.
Serenity has been hard to come by recently amid a series of paedophile scandals, claims of Vatican infighting, corruption and blackmail. But those gathered at St. Peter's were unconcerned. With the sun setting behind St. Peter's Basilica and the bells ringing across Vatican City, Pope Benedict XVI is on his way out of office. There was the briefest of flypasts of the square here, just enough time for the faithful to wave their goodbyes.
It's so special to me to be here. I'm really sad that the Pope had to go, but I think God has a plan for every person, and he did this for a reason.
He demonstrated to be a very, very special Pope. Maybe we didn't appreciate at the beginning because there was such a difference with the other Pope.
The helicopter bore him aloft as the sun set in Rome. The journey to Castel Gandolfo was brief. It's 15 miles south of the Vatican. Then, for the last time as Pope, he addressed a crowd from a balcony.
This day of mine has been so different from many others. I am no longer Pope after 8 o'clock this evening. I'm just a pilgrim, on the last leg of his pilgrimage on this earth. I'd like to continue to work for the good of the Church and humanity with my heart, faith, love, reflection and interior strength. And I feel supported by your kindness.
There was a tearful reaction in the square below. Many of the 7,000 there work on the estate and know him personally. Then the world's most famous religious leader left the window and public life. Now the Church has entered a phase known as sede vacante, the vacant seat. The complex and secretive process to replace him begins.
This man, who took to Twitter cautiously, had one last message, thanking his 1.6 million followers for their love and support. Tonight, the papal Twitter feed says sede vacante, the seat is vacant. At 8 p.m. Rome time, Benedict became Pope Emeritus at Castel Gandolfo, a historic moment for the Catholic Church and the world.
Now, while Benedict gets to stay at the papal summer retreat, he will not get any special heads up about who is chosen as his successor. Benedict will learn with the rest of the world when the man steps out on the loggia at the Basilica of St. Peter.